Oh, hello. Today I'm going to talk about the architect that I always admire and the one that inspired me to design classical style buildings. Meet Antoni Gaudí. Antoni Gaudí was born in Catalonia on the Mediterranean coast of Spain on June 25, 1852. He studied in Barcelona to pursue his dreams on being an architect at a young age. After his studies were interrupted by military service, he graduated in 1878. Upon graduation, he worked using the style of some Victorian predecessors, but he soon developed his own style, composing his works with just juxtapositions of geometric masses and animating the surfaces with patterned brick or stone, bright ceramic tiles, and floral or reptilian metalwork. A good example of this is his work The Salamander in Park Güell. During his early days as an architect, Gaudí displayed a showcase he had produced, which impressed one patron enough to lead to Gaudí's work on the Güell estate and Güell Palace, among others. In 1883, Gaudí was charged with the construction of a Barcelona cathedral called Basilica Temple Expiatory de la Sagrada Familia. The plans were already made and construction had already begun, but Gaudí completely changed the design, stamping it with his own distinctive style, which is characterized by freedom of form, voluptuous color and texture, and organic unity. There, he focused most of his life as an architect. He became pious and abandoning most of his other works just to focus on this church. However, he was struck down by a trolley car and he died from the injuries. After Gaudí's death, work continued on the Sagrada Familia well into the 21st century. During the 1920s and 30s, when the international style was the dominant architectural style, Gaudí was ignored for his style is not that popular anymore. However, in the 1960s, he was revered by professionals and laymen for his style and designs were ahead of his time. Trivia: did you know that he was often mistaken as a beggar? He wore nice clothes in his younger years, but as time passed by, the events changed his looks and it led to his death. He incorporated Catalonia's natural beauty and rich history into his objects and buildings like the La Sagrada Familia. He loved Catalonia so much that he speaks Catalan to foreigners and everything he do is for his home. He was also a devout man. He believes that his talent in architecture came from God and to use it to benefit Catalonia. During the construction of the church, he wanted the tower so high that it looks like it kisses the heaven, meaning he wanted to thank God for his talent. Another trivia. Did you know that he was a very religious man, that he was nicknamed God's architect? And also he was also to be considered as a saint. Casa Vicens in Barcelona is Gaudí's first major commission and one of the architect's most important creations. Constructed between 1883 and 1885, the house is celebrated as a premier example of Art Nouveau architecture because of its Moorish influences, including painted mosaics, repeating geometric patterns, and multiple arches. Casa Batlló is one of Gaudí's most well-known houses. Originally built in 1877, but Joseph Batlló was inspired by Gaudí's designs, so in 1904, he commissioned Gaudí to renovate it. It showcases many of the features associated with Art Nouveau as it is almost entirely composed of curved lines and fluid forms. It can be seen in its appearance, resembling a skeletal frame or the wings of an insect. Gaudí's attention to detail is evident in its stained glass windows and glimmering mosaics that incorporate color into its stone facade. Gaudí didn't just also design buildings, but also furnitures. The two-person sofa from the Casa Batlló is emblematic of Gaudí's designs, with a rather spindly frame of 5 legs that reflects an economy of materials. The irregularity of the panels for the back and seat make them appear to have been taken from whatever materials were available. It again shows the connection with nature, emphasized by the shapes of these back panels appear like apples, as well as the front exposure of the wood grain. Despite the sofa's strange appearance, Gaudí was being praised in recent years for the ergonomic qualities of his furniture. Finally, the most famous and the work he's mostly known for is the Basilica de la Sagrada Familia. The church is praised for its naturalistic forms, intricate details, and wealth of color. Given the fact that the architect dedicated the second half of his life to the project, it is unsurprising that it combines many of his earlier influences: Art Nouveau, arts and crafts, Gothic revival, and Orientalism into one architectural marvel. He also combined his religion to the building. The towers represents the apostles, the Virgin Mary, and the tallest of them all is Jesus. Today, the church remains unfinished, but it is said that it will be finished in the year 2026. If that time comes, this church might be included in the 7 wonders of the world. Final trivia. Did you know that he started his career by designing lampposts at Plaza Real? After his graduation, that was his very first work assignment. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you learned about Antoni Gaudí, and I hope that this video inspired you to design classical style buildings.